So I'm in Berlin. This is not the first time I've been to Berlin, nor is it actually the longest amount of time I will have spent in Berlin. Um, However, it is the longest amount of time I will have spent actually with time to look around Berlin, because normally I'm at a con and I make all these promises to myself. Oh, I'm gonna go into Berlin and like on one of the days and wander around and see the things. That never happens. Ditto Chicago. Uh, but I like Berlin. And I'll actually have some time to spend here. I do have my bike with me as well, although I can't really ride it anywhere. Not that I would want to ride around Berlin, but you know, it's the first time I've driven here, so that's a thing. What's it like? Bicycles. Lots of big, wide open boulevards in my experience. Unfortunately, that leads to this kind of thing. Sigh. But yeah, no, I like Berlin. And I want to see more of it. So someone said that I'd have less of an accent than they expected, and I don't know. I have an Irish accent. It's just that I talk funny. I talk funny as an Irish person and as a normal person, in so much as normal is a thing. But like, I don't really talk about my own personal cultural stuff very much because, firstly, I don't think anyone's interested, and secondly, the people who are interested are just gonna get angry at it. But I don't really consider myself Irish, and haven't done for years. I've never really been any of the things that people traditionally define Irish by. I'm sorry, Ireland, but I'm a queer for a European long before I'm Irish. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know where my strange way of talking came from. Probably television, movies. Thanks, America. But that's a thing. There's a theory that humans find urban spaces more or less inviting based on perceived permeability. Like your idea of, you know, there could be people here because there are doors, or there's like a cafe in a wall with some seating outside, that kind of thing. And I kind of like it because, you know, it says a lot, right? You know, you look at a street you don't want to walk down. You don't want to walk down because it's just like a giant brick wall, and then like there's one entrance there that's shuttered up with some graffiti on it. It's not very inviting, and you are naturally repelled by it. God, this thing is such an example of it. Like, it's really long. It's way back that way, and it's all covered in beautiful murals. But even so, fuck, it has some energy. Just being here, like, I want to be on the other side of the road. It's crazy. So Pew, we're like an American think tank, place the limits on a millennial as being 1981 to 1996, on the basis that before the age of 5, you don't really have any proper memories of important things happening. Which I really like, because I was born in 82, and my first significant memory of anything really is the end of that. Like there's like footage somewhere of like a red and white road barrier thing being raised and people thronging through. That is my first memory of a major world event. So actually seeing the wall itself, I mean, I've seen bits of it before, but seeing it just like that, like a big long length of it, just walking along past it, it's actually kind of emotional for me. Yeah, it's weird because, I'm not German. I'm from a very sheltered part of Western Europe, way over on the Atlantic coast. Yeah, weird. Funny the things that affect you a bit. So, one thing I really like is sitting outside in the sun eating food. Berlin is very much the kind of city where that's a thing that you can do. And as much as I don't like doner or curry, I do love a roast bratwurst. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say here. I just enjoy doing that. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I like Berlin. So, I should have ordered a battery at the start of this week, but I got very distracted by work and ended up not doing so. And as a consequence, it's not Thursday. I am hoping to leave Berlin really early. By really early, I mean like 9 o'clock, on Saturday. And I don't have a battery that works, and my bike can't hold idle and needs to be push start. I can't push start it with my luggage on it, but I also can't push start it without the luggage, because then I have to leave it idling and put the luggage on and it'll just cut out. So I need to get a battery, and I've just been to a Honda dealership, which was the most likely place for me to get one, but they didn't have any in stock. So I'm going to another Honda dealership, which is just up the road. And if they don't have one, I'm going to have to try and figure out where I could get one else retail. I left it too late to order one, basically. I can't get one ordered until next week. So that is a big problem. I got the last one. Whew. That's good. Now I just need to figure out what tools I need to put this in my bike, and then we'll probably actually do the job of putting it in on Saturday morning just before I leave, because the guy was like, yeah, it might not have a lot of charge in it, brand new, so I will need to drive on it for a while, but hopefully, as long as I keep my heated grips off, my bike will be able to do that, because the alternator seems to be working pretty good. So I totally underestimated how closed Germany would be today, which is cool. I mean, it's a bank holiday, and I'm glad to see that a lot of shops are honouring that. But I wasn't expecting it, because everywhere else I've been is like, oh yeah, it's a bank holiday, all the shops are still open. But I need a screwdriver, and I guess I can get one tomorrow in the morning. It's going to delay my departure, but I'm leaving myself a lot of slack tomorrow in my schedule, just because I want to leave Berlin kind of early, get to my friend's place before it's like super late at night, because we're going to go to like a fur meat thing in the evening. And I should still be able to get there in time. It's going to take like 20 minutes to go up to like the supermarket where I know there's a hardware section and get one. I kind of would prefer to have gotten one earlier. But, you know, these are the things you learn when you travel to different countries. Yeah. So, I got my bike started, batteries replaced, seems to be running fine. I stopped for a minute to essentially drop the old battery off at a Honda dealership where I got the new one, and it's closed. And I went to look at my Google Maps and set it up so I could go to the petrol station. And suddenly I realized my bike was overheating at 132 degrees. Fuck. Like I can't ride it at that. It's spitting coolant out. So right now it's cooling off. It's down to like 110. If I can get it down to 90, I can go to a petrol station, top it up, and basically get to the nearest autobahn as quickly as possible because I need the airflow to keep it cool. Shit. I wonder if one of the fans got damaged. I'm gonna be late in Dortmund and that pisses me off because I'm meant to be going somewhere this evening and the person who I'm meeting to go there is going to be waiting for me to drive and I'm going to be delaying them, and it's just like, come on, does it have to be this way? It's 23 degrees C in blistering sunlight. I'm somewhere outside of Hanover. I've not had a great day so far, but once I got on the autobahn, everything has been fine, and that's great. I've made up time, which is good. But there's definitely a problem with my cooling system. That's going to need to be sorted out. I've got a long layover in Dortmund, so hopefully I can do something about that. The battery fix worked beautifully. That's really good. I have parked my bike in as much shade as I can get in this car park, which, as you can see, is not very much. It's over there somewhere. Here. In the shade of like a tiny bush. That's as good as I could get. But the autobahn is like just there, so it can't get too hot on the way to that. And once it is rolling, air is all that it needs. I just need to stay above 80 kilometers per hour. Easy, right? Easy. So, hopefully, all is well. I realised that I haven't actually recorded anything since Autobahn services somewhere near Hanover, so I made it to Dortmund just fine. I think the cooling issues are probably not as big a deal as I thought they were, which is good. I spent the weekend being alternately lazy and fursuiting, which is good. I've been wearing someone else's fursuit, so I got a chance to do some full suiting, which I really like. So myself and my boyfriend have broken up amicably. We just sort of, we weren't really communicating very well, and we were constantly far away from each other and only seeing each other occasionally. So it's a thing. But at least the weather is nice. The weather is good. Hey guys, Little lax in vlogging this week. I have had a pretty awful bug, and I have basically just spent the last couple of days on the sofa wrapped up in blankets. Um, so nothing really has been happening. You're not missing any updates. I have been tweeting things and retweeting lots of politics because I am bored. And that's basically all that's been happening. I'm still ill and will probably be ill tomorrow too. But I'm hoping to be okay by the weekend. That would be really nice. I've not done a video in a while because I've kind of just been having a chill time the last couple of weeks. And there's not really been that much going on, to be honest. But I was supposed to be in Cologne today, but my friend from Cologne at the last minute had to make different arrangements, which means I have to make different arrangements. So I'm in Munster. And I don't know how long I can stay in Munster. I'm not sure if I can stay here the whole week. But I do have the day off, and it's kind of annoying because I meant to spend today in Cologne, because Cologne's a pretty place. So I am on my way to get a train to Cologne. A train because it is cold. It is May, and it is barely hitting 10 degrees. The other day there was actually sleet. This has done terrible things to my battery again. Yeah, I don't really fancy a 2-hour autobahn trip in the cold, so I'm just gonna get the train into Cologne, and I'm gonna get the train back, and I'm gonna spend like 4 or 5 hours enjoying the things that are there to see in Cologne. So I took a video by the Danube before. I think it's only fair that I take one by the Rhine, which is basically the two of Europe's great rivers. Although I have been to this one before, last year. Yeah, it's large and wide and has many boats on it. There's actually a railway bridge there, so I don't know if you can even hear me. But I'm in Cologne today, and I really like Cologne. It's a very pretty city. I didn't get to see much of it last time because it was just overnight, but I've got a few hours to wander around before I need to go back to Munster. It's a little less time than I had hoped to have, but you know, that's life. Sometimes in this kind of trip you've got to accommodate for those kind of problems. record vertical video.
Oh. Oh, it stops raining.
Yeah. I was gonna do a video this morning, but I checked my directions quite early and discovered that they closed the autobahn between me and the ferry. So here I am on the ferry, making today's update. This is the ferry back to the UK. I will be staying in London tonight. I guess that's kind of the end of my trip, but I mean, from my personal perspective, I still don't have anywhere to stay permanently in London. So I think it's basically going to be like still my trip until confuzzled. But today is basically the end of it, really. Wow, it's been 2 months of my life. That's crazy. But there you go. And that is more or less that. As you may have noticed, I had stopped vlogging so much near the end. The problems with my bike after the accident had begun to wear on me, and it was really impacting my enjoyment of the trip. And there were a couple of weeks that went by where I basically didn't vlog at all. But I generally really enjoyed myself, and I would just like to close out on the following message that I made a little while after I got back, which I think really explains my feelings about the trip. So I am back in scenic, picturesque London. I'm actually waiting for the dentist to come back from lunch, because funnily enough, having been away for 2 months, suddenly now that I'm back, like, everything is appointments. And yeah, I think I can now admit that the crash in Austria has caused a few serious issues with my bike, but they are manageable in the short term, and hopefully very soon I should have the space and time to do something about them. So it's mainly electrics and cooling, but also I really want to deal with that bodywork, because I'm kind of concerned at how deep those cracks go, and I don't want it falling apart on me. But all of those things said, it's been a really great bike to tour with. And I'm really sad that my tour is coming to an end, because I loved it. And yeah, I'm not all that enthusiastic about being back, if I'm honest.